Hey there, everybody. It's Steven from Timebite, and I got something for you before you listen to this great podcast that's about to hit you right in the face, and that is that you should go check out Anchor, man. This website helps you for free start you up with any podcast that you would like in your little head to be making. Because you can record from your phone, you can record from your computer, man. You can distribute on iTunes, on Spotify, wherever your little heart desires, because your little grubby hands deserve it anyway. You can. There's no minimal listenership to get yourself started with getting anything that you want done, and everything's just in one place, man. Just go check it out. It's Anchor. It's the Anchor app or Anchor.fm on the internet. So, hopefully you enjoy the podcast. You are now listening to Timebite, hosted by me, Stephen Clark. Hopefully you enjoy the podcast. Hey there, everybody. You know what this is. I think you know what podcast this is because you can't get enough of it. Well, that's in my own mind that you guys can't get enough of it. Like, you guys are clamoring for it in my mind. In reality, it's not like that, but that'd be cool if it was. But today, for episode 88 of Timebite, I brought back a guy that you guys liked, that he was really cool. I think he's cool. I know his name. I'm not saying it because private reasons. Only me and him only know that, so keeping it that way. Today, I am joined once again with the DVD Freak.
What up?
Oh man, it's been. How long has it actually been? Hold on, I wanna see real quickly. How long has it actually been since I talked to you? Let's see.
Well, the last podcast was what, like September or something last year, or was it later than that?
That's what I'm looking up right now because I actually wanted. Now I'm actually genuinely curious. The last time me and you actually talked. Hold on.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Oh, August. It was August the last time I talked to you.
Okay, all right. I mean, a lot's happened.
Yeah.
It's been an interesting, especially the past few weeks have just been really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like me, my podcast has been growing since then. The everything, like, you know, the whole coronavirus started. But here's something I want to bring up. But if you guys want to hear me talking more in depth about coronavirus and more a little bit in my opinion on it and all that stuff, make sure to go check out the latest episode of In the Serpent's Pit with Serpent's Breakdown, where me and Serpent's Breakdown talk about the coronavirus. Because by the point this episode gets uploaded, that episode's going to be going to be like weeks old. But go back and check it out because we talk about this whole coronavirus thing, and it is crazy. And I recommend you all to go check it out.
Yeah, I've just been kind of posting updates and stuff on like WrestleMania and just, I guess, where the WWE and like AEW and stuff, how they're reacting to it. So I've been following the coronavirus. I think it's more just overhyped, but yeah, I've been following it and posting updates on my channel and stuff for it.
Wait, what do you think? What do you think of WrestleMania being held at the Performance Center for 2 nights instead of 1?
I mean, I think it's. Here's my question. There's multiple reasons why it could be 2 nights. It could be either A, they know that a performance center event's not going to hold up quite as well as a stadium. So they could try to do it like 2 hours each night, or the card's literally so big that they want to go 4 hours each night. Which, from what I'm hearing so far, it's going to be 4 hours each night. I mean, we don't have like a confirmed time for that or anything, but I don't think it's going to work. Wrestling is made for a crowd. You're literally working a crowd. And I mean, I haven't watched the Raw or SmackDown Performance Center shows, but I watched a few segments of them to know that it's just, you can't hold WrestleMania in the Performance Center. It's just not going to work. It's,
Well, here,
I don't know.
well, here's a fun fact. This WrestleMania is going to be the smallest WrestleMania in history, the lowest attended WrestleMania at 0, and the third WrestleMania to ever be held in Orlando.
Vince will probably still try to inflate the audience and be like, "Oh, we got 80,000 people here. We broke the Performance Center attendance record."
The record of 2 or 3.
You have like the little plate come up with the attendance, and they have like sparklers going off.
No, they're showing all the empty seats.
Oh yeah. Michael Cole's like, "This is the most historic night in sports entertainment."
That shot of all the empty chairs is basically the first Cyber Timebite panel that ever happened.
Well, at least he broke the attendance record.
Well, no, strike that. All the people that roomed with me that whole weekend at the convention were in attendance, but every other seat completely empty.
Well, hey, that counts for something, I guess.
But I actually had 2 panels for this podcast since that time.
Were they attended at least?
Yeah, this first one was attended by everyone I roomed with, and the second one was actually attended by randoms.
Well, that's, you're only as good as your last panel, I guess.
But speaking of which, since we're talking about panels real quickly, have you ever been to a convention?
No, I don't want to. I'm not a convention person. I went to a horror convention one time last October.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was very small, and I just went there to meet a bunch of celebrities. And yeah, I'm not a big convention person.
I feel like if you start like doing the cosplay thing of like wrestlers or whatever you want to be into, that I feel like once you feel into it, you'll actually start to like it.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I've never cosplayed. I'm not one to like. I don't do anything for Halloween or any of that. I don't even know who I would go as. I mean, like, if I had to cosplay as somebody, I would at least try to go all out, like Sting or like, I don't know, probably Sting.
Yeah, because like, look at me. I mean, look at my cosplay. My cosplay is basically me wearing a flannel and a denim vest and a hat. It's basically me with layers, but I consider it cosplay somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been invited to so many conventions. Like, people were going, they invited me. So I only went to the one horror convention, and I wouldn't even really count that. It was very small.
You should have saw me at Count Out Delete, which is our December convention in Rosemont, Illinois, where the Allstate Arena is. And I literally looked like a great value Dean Ambrose in The Shield.
Oh, there you go.
I wasn't trying to be him, but that's what I looked like.
Now you can wear the eye patch.
Oh, the eye patch.
You can carry around a plant. Mitch the plant.
I should actually try to actually be Dean Ambrose. That would actually be a good cosplay for me, probably.
Well, there you go.
Because I actually kind of look like him already. I mean, sort of. So it can work.
I have one of my viewers. They say I look like Drake Maverick, aka Rockstar Spud. If you're a TNA fan.
No, I know that, but I No, you don't. You kind of don't. You don't look like him to me. You look like. You don't look like really like anyone to me. You look like just you. You know,
Well,
like
that's good. That's how you stand out.
people think I look like Seth Rogen.
Yeah, a lot of people look like Seth Rogen, though. I know at least like 5 people that look like Seth Rogen.
But no, I get that, and then I get Stephen Clark from Def Leppard.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it's because of him. It's because of the name, because that's my
Yeah.
name too. And then I get and then I joke around and say Steven Universe because you know the show Steven Universe.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that. I joke around with that, and then Even Stevens and all that stuff.
Even they think you look like Shia LaBeouf.
No. They call it no. They always go like they always like say Even Stevens because you know Even Stevens.
Oh yeah. All right, yeah. I was gonna say.
No, I don't look like Shia LaBeouf. Have you seen me before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's why I got confused.
Yeah, it's just like I was just like I don't look like Shia LaBeouf. The whatchamacallit, so the last time I interviewed, obviously you were living with your parents still, and now you moved into a new house. How's that been?
I mean it's not much different. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it was a pain in the ass moving and stuff like that. But you know, it's nice and settled, and just I'm not home very much because I work a lot. But it's nice and private. I like that. I'm a very secluded person, so I like that aspect of it.
I want to say sorry about not getting the DVD out to you yet. I still need to buy the DVDs and send them out to everyone else, and you know, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. You send it my way. I'll unbox it.
I signed it and everything, and numbered it.
Oh, there you go. What's it limited to?
I think 13. I believe.
Oh, that's cool.
I I signed it and limited it to the number of the people who wanted it, and then I added 2 more because another friend of mine wanted a copy, and then there's your copy, and so
That's cool.
yeah, I made 2 inserts, so you're gonna be happy. No, wait, yeah, 2 inserts, and you're gonna be happy because one has the match card, has the whole match card on it, and the other one has branding for my podcast and merchandise branding. So,
Dude, you gotta have the inserts. DVDs don't do that anymore. It's just, I mean, WrestleMania I think is the one DVD a year we get with an insert now. So yay.
My Kano delete panel, the one that was actually good, the one that actually got traffic, didn't get a video. If I did get it on video, I would put that on DVD and send it your way too. But
yeah, that's how it works out.
but I actually signed up for an art panel at Anime Midwest, which is the July convention in my area, and if that one gets the green light, I'm gonna make sure that one gets recorded so I can put it on DVD, and then I'll keep it for myself and send you a copy.
There you go. I honestly haven't really been buying too many lately. That's kind of my thing. But yeah, I haven't really many. Yeah, I gotta start doing that.
Dude, so how would you feel having a Cyber Timebite section of your DVD collection?
I'll make a little like golden shrine of a shelf.
Yes. I get my own golden section.
I'll just be like, dude, screw the other DVDs. We're gonna focus on this today.
Yeah, because you got the Beyblade tournament, and then my first panel ever, and
I remember Beyblade, man. That was
That was the crap.
I like Yu-Gi-Oh! To this day, I'm still a Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy. But, like, after Yu-Gi-Oh! Came Beyblade, and I couldn't really get into it that much. Like, I tried. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
But I stuck it with Yu-Gi-Oh! Man.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna forewarn you right now. When you watch the tournament video of me doing the tournament, I suck. I kind of sucked because it was my first time covering anything in my life, so I make a lot of rookie mistakes.
What did you do?
Like I went to interview someone, and I didn't know how to cut away from it the right way, so I was very awkward with it. And I was like, okay, yeah, have a great time. See you later.
And that's one of those things where it's just like 5 seconds of both of you just waiting for the camera to go off.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just me standing there, and I said, and I was acting like it was like a regular conversation, but since we were mic'd up.
You're just like, all right, peace out, man.
Yeah, like that, pretty much.
You just walk away. Keep the mic.
King of the mic. What do we call it? But no, I mean, like, I think we didn't record the whole tournament because the whole tournament was too long to record everything, and they were having 3 battles going on at the same time. So we only like got certain battles, and the ones I did get on tape got put on the insert. So
yeah, see, I didn't even know Beyblade was that big of a thing still.
It really is. Like, there's a whole website that I'm part of. That's how I figured out about this tournament, is that I went on there, and there's still tournaments going on all over the world, all over the country. It's crazy.
What do you win? Is it like a cash prize? Or do you just get like a card saying you won?
There's different levels. There's the one I did, which is pretty much like, you know, Beyblade fans gathering together, battling out the win, and then they record it down on the website. But the person who won that tournament won candy, but I don't think they ever got the candy. But
what do you mean they didn't get the candy?
I think no, because the guy who was running the tournament left it at his house, and he had to run back and get it. And I don't think he wanted it, so he's just like, screw it.
Wow, that's like the most important thing. Like, oh, I forgot the candy. Like, that's the prize.
like you're supposed to give him candy as a prize. Dang it.
That's like Jeopardy or something, or like some kind of like Deal or No Deal. Like, you win the money. There's like, dude, sorry, we forgot the money. Like, congratulations.
Oh, all right.
Here's a thumbs up.
No. Here would be the most disappointing one. Okay, let's just say that, like, you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You make it to the final question. You got that far. Used all your lifelines except call a friend. And then you get to the final question. You say, "Can I use a lifeline?" And then it says, like, "Sure." You want to call a friend? And you're like, "Yeah, sure." You call your friend. You'll probably be your girlfriend. And you call her. And you're like, "Hey babe, you're gonna win all this money," and she's like, "Oh my god, yeah!" And you answer the question, you get it right, and then when you get it right, they said, "Oh, we left the money in the back."
It's like, well, I mean, we have a gift card.
Bed Bath and Beyond.
There you go.
And then it plays the music when you win Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it says, "Winner, Bed Bath & Beyond, $20."
And then, like, you know how they used to do, I don't know if you ever actually watched Millionaire, but like they used to do like follow-ups like 6 months later.
Yeah.
And they would say like what they spent the money on.
Yeah.
They film him going to Bed Bath & Beyond. He's like, I got a pillow.
Got a pillow and some pots and pans and a comforter, you know.
I was gonna get more, but it was like $20.
Had to run it from my bank.
It was a whole ordeal.
Yeah,
it's just there's just a bunch of B shots of him coming out like holding the pillow. had to spend the extra $5 at McDonald's, but who knows? Oh, the gift card it rolled over. Didn't work. It was expired.
That's the best part. It expired.
So realistically, I spent $30 on a pillow.
Gee, never coming back a millionaire again.
But then the next guy wins $1 million. They're just like, don't worry, we have the money this time. We're good.
No. Isn't they stopped using money because they say that there's most germs on money, and so because of this whole epidemic, they stopped using money on a millionaire.
Dude, legit, I know somebody that actually thinks that toilet paper is going to be the new accepted currency. Like, they don't think we're going to use money. They don't think we're going to use money anymore. It's all going to be toilet paper.
That's ridiculous.
I legit know somebody that believes that wholeheartedly. And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
That's crazy, man.
And I was on eBay earlier, and for some reason I stumbled upon the toilet paper section. And people are literally ripping sheets off and, like, selling them, like, by the sheet.
Well, I mean, I saw people were like trying to scam like $150 for toilet paper.
Oh yeah, like it's ridiculous. Oh, you get a 2-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer. That's $3,000. Here you go.
It's because of things like these. People are like taking advantage of scamming you of your money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really taking this whole pandemic seriously. Like I'm sick right now. I have cold symptoms. Hey, it might be the coronavirus. I don't know. But I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, if you're feeling worse than regular, you should at least go check out your doctor.
Yeah, I'm not a big doctor person.
Oh, then you're gonna hate when you hit 50.
But I don't know. I'm getting better. That's probably why I won't make it to 50.
So like, now that you moved, I don't know if you're okay saying it, but like, do you live in Hershey, Pennsylvania, or still near Hershey, Pennsylvania, or like what part of Pennsylvania you live in now?
Yeah, I'm still in the same area. I mean, yeah, I didn't move too far.
Have you? I know that we talked about Hershey and the Giant Center and all that stuff last time, but have you been there recently?
No, I refuse to go to a WWE event until they actually put out a good product.
Yeah,
that's just kind of where I'm at. But I haven't really been to any wrestling shows. I went down to DC for the first AEW Dynamite show. I mean, that was cool. That was great. But that was October 2nd, I think it was. So yeah, I mainly went for the historical value. Like, that's the first Dynamite. You know, I wanted to be there for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome. That was a great show. And I haven't gone to any events since.
You know AEW Revolution, that pay-per-view they just did?
Yeah, yep.
You want to know a fun fact about that pay-per-view?
What?
It's that down the street and around the corner was C2E2, which is our humongous comic convention, Comic-Con. It's like our New York Comic Con and our San Diego Comic Con. That's like ours, and that was happening down the street from the arena when that was going on.
You should have went. That was a great pay-per-view.
I didn't get a ticket though because I went with my friend who bought the fancy package that gets you a 3-day badge into the convention and a ticket to Revolution, and it costs like a ridiculous like $200 or whatever dollar amount to get, and I didn't have that money, so he got it, but I didn't, and so he ended up going.
I almost went to Full Gear, which was in Baltimore, and I've been to the Royal Farms Arena before. I went to a Extreme Rules there in 2017 for some reason. But yeah, I almost went to Full Gear. I actually probably could have gone backstage because I know somebody that's like friends with a bunch of the wrestlers, and like he's hung out with like he's done security for like Chris Jericho before.
That's
But
cool.
I ended up having to work, and the tickets, I think they were a little out of my price range personally, but yeah, I regret not going to Full Gear.
Baltimore, the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore is where the Great American Bash was held for years, right?
Yep.
And and on TV, I've seen it on TV, and on TV it looks really, really square. Is it really square in person?
Yeah, it is. It's really small. Like when I went to Extreme Rules, we had nosebleed seats, but they honestly were really good. Like it's a really small arena, and it is strangely square. I don't like square arenas, but I like more like oval arenas personally.
The Obviously you didn't go to the Great American Bash, right?
No.
Would you want? Would you want to?
Oh hell yeah! Like I love old school wrestling. That's where Sting and Ric Flair had their historic world title match. Like I would love to have been there for that.
What no, I gotta ask. What are your favorite pay-per-views, past and present? WCW, ECW, and WWE related. I guess I don't know. I know that's a big pile to pick from, but let's start with WWE, then WCW, then ECW. Let's do it like that.
We could probably do New Japan too, because I'm a huge Japanese wrestling fan.
Well, I know. Yeah, we could do that. I never watched a lot of it, but yeah, go ahead.
I think that's the best wrestling on the planet, honestly. But Dominion for New Japan was great. I've heard some people say that's the greatest pay-per-view of all time. I don't necessarily know if I'd agree with that, but it's up there. Wrestle Kingdom is always great. But for WWE, WrestleMania 19 will always be my favorite pay-per-view.
Yeah.
WWE related. I love No Mercy 2002. I think that's a very underrated pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
That had one of the greatest tag matches of all time. You had Brock Lesnar and Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. That was great. I mean, that's the era I grew up in, Ruthless Aggression era. So, SummerSlam 2002, that's another one of my favorites. WCW, I honestly am not a big WCW fan.
Oh,
I like a lot of their really old stuff. I do not like a lot of the Monday Night Wars, like Eric Bischoff, NWO. I'm not a big fan of all of that for WCW. I like WCW before Nitro, basically.
Yeah.
So, pretty much, any of the Sting and Ric Flair matches I love. Any of those pay-per-views. You had Vader. You had so many good pay-per-views back then. And ECW, I really liked their first pay-per-view.
Barely Legal?
Yeah.
I know you have it on DVD because they put it on DVD with the second One Night Stand pay-per-view, I think it was.
Yeah, 2006.
So haven't got... I bought One Night Stand 2005 recently, but I can't find 2006.
That's a hard to find one. It's a cheap DVD, but you don't see it often.
Because I think people are starting to realize how rare it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like crazy rare, expensive or anything. I got it back in the day, like 10 years ago. But yeah, that was really cool that they included Barely Legal with that. And you even got an insert for Barely Legal too. So that just kind of adds to it.
They should have made the cover swappable, where one side was the One Night Stand, the other side was Barely Legal. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Or I can make that. Like, if you want me to do that for you, I'll make it for you. If you want me to.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, if you want. I mean, that's a great pay-per-view.
what do you think of like Anarchy Rules and like Massacre on 34th Street and what are pay per view? Hardcore Heaven, like all those pay per views.
I mean, I always loved ECW. I always loved the idea of it. The fact that it was on at like 2 a.m. Like I just love. I love Paul Heyman. I love a lot of the talent. I always liked hardcore TV personally more than the pay-per-views. Pay-per-views were always pretty good, like leading into like the late 90s until TNN showed up. But yeah, I still have a lot of ECW pay-per-views to go back and watch.
Well, you don't like TNN or the new TNN?
No. Did anyone?
Well, I mean, I just joke around and go like, thanks TNN.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love the Paul Heyman promos where he would basically just bash TNN. He'd be like, because of the network. Man, I love Paul Heyman.
No, TNN was actually the inspiration for my Con TV logo on Stream.tv, which is awesome, and you should check it out. But it's because of the new TNN logo is where I got my inspiration for one of my logos on my Stream.tv account.
There you go. You should just start cutting random promos.
Yeah, do you know what I should do? If you're okay with it, can I link you to the Cyber Timebite channel and the Con TV channel and maybe the Wear channel, Classics channel? Who knows? You may like that. And check and just so you can watch it like my TV channels I made on the websites and see if you like it or not.
Yeah, go for it.
Which, speaking of which, are you into like old school Weather Channel stuff, like the old Loco on the 8s and all that stuff, nostalgia in that way?
I mean, I love anything nostalgic, really. So I mean, that's not really something I looked into too much, like the old Weather Channels and stuff like that. I remember watching it as a kid, and it sucked because I remember like. I don't know if you have these memories, but like for school, I hated school with a passion.
Yeah.
But like you tune in at like 4:09, and then you'd have to sit through the bullshit until like 4:18, and then you just have to see if like we're getting like 10 inches of snow. I used to do that all the time back when there was like snow forecasts, just to see if I'd get off the next day. The local on the 8s.
Yeah,
but I never looked too much into like classic weather channels.
Yeah, because the thing that I love about the classic weather channel is the local on the 8s because the music, the aesthetic, everything like it just like it because I remember watching it all the time growing up. I mean, it wasn't like I didn't watch cartoons or anything but I remember that just like growing up, watching like that, like it's crazy at one time. That is one way how we used to just get our weather. Like before, like when the news wasn't on and we didn't have touch phones and we didn't have, and our computers weren't really up to snuff yet. That's how we got our weather.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, that's the only way you knew.
Isn't it crazy?
Like I didn't have a smartphone. Like. I mean, I'm 24, so I mean, I grew up in the early 2000s, and that was before you could literally just look at your phone and see the weather there for the next like 10 days.
Isn't it crazy though that we used to have to sit in front of our television until like 8:08 for us to see our weather?
I even remember it was channel 53. I remember that.
Is it still channel 53?
I don't know. I don't have cable, so I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, like, oh wait, you said you're 24?
Yeah, I'm 24 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 20. You're 2 years younger than me. I'm 26.
Oh, there you go.
So wait, weren't you born in the 90s then?
96, yeah.
Yeah, 96. Yeah.
Early 96.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like that's like that's when like the Blair Channel was dominant, and then there's Sailor Moon and Pokemon and all.
Yeah, I never liked Pokemon. I was huge on Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know that.
To this day, I still watch like Yu-Gi-Oh unboxings on YouTube. I love it. And I never played much. It was more for the collectors side of it.
Yeah.
To this day, I still have a Yu-Gi-Oh collection. I don't really add to it very much, but it's still cool to have and look at. And once in a while, I'll watch the series.
How about Digimon?
No, I'll tell you what. I don't like anime.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was like the only anime I liked.
I know you tried to get in the Beyblade, but you should try again. It's like today, like these days, to see if you still like it. And if you still don't like it, then you don't like it. But like you should at least try it like one more time.
How long did that? Because it was an animated show. How long did that run?
Beyblade?
Yeah.
It's still running to this day.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Yeah, there's the new series recently just got released. It's called Beyblade Burst Rise.
Oh my god. That's insane.
No, because there's Beyblade and then Beyblade V Force and Beyblade G Revolution, and then after that ended, the Metal Saga started, and then we have Metal Masters, Metal Fury, Metal Fusion, and then Shogun Steel, and then after that ended, then we got Beyblade Burst Evolution, and then Beyblade Burst Rise.
Wow. Yeah, I always thought it was one of those things that just kind of died off.
It's still around, and I still like it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I think Yu-Gi-Oh still has some content, but I'm just a fan of the original series personally.
So you never wanted to be the very best that no one ever was?
No, I had a dual disc though, so I was close.
Wait, you had that thing that goes on your wrist, and it was like basically a dueling board on your wrist.
Yeah, I had one, and they go for like insane amounts of money online now. Like, yeah, I had one. I don't remember using it much because it's just the aesthetic of it is too much. So I prefer just doing it on a table, because like I love like board games and just stuff like that. Like I love chess. I always love chess.
Do you like?
So like I'm just used to playing on a table.
Are you a Dungeons and Dragons fan then?
No, I've never played it. I was never into it. No.
Well, what do you think of RPing? Like RP?
Like a World of Warcraft type thing?
Like, just role play, like making up characters, going on adventures, writing it down if you want, but like, making up adventures with your friends. Not necessarily in a D&D way, which is more like a board game, which is something that would be up your alley, but RP is just basically off the seat, flying from the seat of your pants, making characters and lands and whatever.
Yeah, I was never into that. I mean, growing up, like to this day, I'm a writer. I always write. I want to be a filmmaker. So I would always have like role plays in a sense, but it was more mimicking film over like fantasy and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I was big on. I did role play like two things: Transformers and Star Wars. It was never like a fantasy setting though.
Because I feel, being a film, you getting into this film stuff and getting to know like all this other stuff that you like doing, all that. I feel like role playing would be right up your alley, and D&D would be your thing if you were to try it. Because I feel like that it would you would get behind it, and you get so many ideas for like films too and all that.
See, my type of writing though is more, I guess, thriller. I never liked fantasy films. Like Lord of the Rings, they're great films, but I was never into them. Like Game of Thrones, I never got into that. I never liked the whole fantasy setting.
Yeah,
I like more of a realistic psychological setting.
like The Godfather.
Yeah, that's a great film. Yeah, I mean, that's, you could argue it's obviously one of the greatest films of all time.
Because they made you an offer that you can refuse.
I'll tell you what, man. And in terms of opening sequences, The Godfather is up there for one of the greatest opening scenes of all time.
What is it? Even though I haven't seen it, but what is it?
Well, basically, you have Marlon Brando. You know, he's sitting there petting the cat, which is a fun fact. The cat, I don't know how much you know about the film, but the cat was a stray that just wandered on set, and he just picked it up and just like started petting it and like decided to make it a part of the scene. And you have this other character. I can't remember the actor's name. He was in Full House, though. That is a really obscure fact. But
Yeah.
he played like he was like in an episode of Full House. Basically how he wanted somebody killed or hurt. And you really, in the scene, it perfectly establishes how respected the Godfather really is. And it sets the tone for the rest of the film. It's a perfect scene.
Did they mocked the famous Godfather scene in the WrestleMania 21 promotion, right?
I don't know if they did or not. I remember those though. I remember they did like Taxi Driver. They did How Harry Met Sally, Forrest Gump. They had Eugene as Forrest Gump, which was just hilarious.
I remember I love the Undertaker one though. The one where the Undertaker, I forget what movie that is, but the one where he's
it was Dirty Harry.
Yeah, it's like so. What's the line again?
He's like, "You feeling lucky, punk?" And then he pumps the shotgun like one-handed. Perfect reenaction. Like it was perfect.
No, do you know what we should do? Like, if we ever to meet in person ever, and I was about to, like, if I was like going to go to a convention in your area and you were going to be part of the convention, the panel, we should just make all like these spoof movie things like they did. It just promote the panel that way.
Oh, I'm down. Let's do it. Well, I mean, WrestleMania 37 is going to be in LA, so they might do it again. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like that, like we recreate the famous Darth Maul kill scene.
Oh, God, which one? He died like 5 times.
The one where he got the one he got split in half and thrown down.
Okay, yeah, episode 1, yeah.
Are the famous scene where Luke figures out that Darth Maul is his father, or no, Darth Vader was.
Darth Vader, yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm a Star Wars geek, man. It's bad. Like, yeah. Star Wars was always, like, my biggest, I guess, like, geeky thing, I guess you could say. That and Transformers.
No, dude, no, you would be the funniest thing. As if you were told that, okay, we're gonna do a spoof of the famous Star Wars scene where Darth Vader says that he's Luke's father, right? And you're like, okay, cool, you're down for it. And so it goes on, but what you don't realize is it's me under the Darth Vader thing. So it's like you don't know that, and so we get to the part where I go like, Luke, I am your father, and you just go like, no, and you're crying like crazy, and then like, dude, and then I take out the mask like, dude, are you okay? Well,
dude, I'm very much like a method writer too, so I would go all out, like put some like aesthetic blood or something, like Well, I'm holding my wrist where my hand used to be. Like,
But no. But you'd be just like crying, like you'd be crying like a little child, and I'd be like, I'd be concerned about your health.
just be like, all right, you all right, man? Like, I know I cut off your hand. I'm sorry. I was just trying to make a point.
Trying to hammer.
You want a hug?
They're like, oh, there you go. Now, come on now.
You wrap a towel around me. And you're like, come on, I'll make you some cocoa.
And give you a cookie. Why not?
I'm just like, okay.
That would be funny. I love it. We gotta do that. I love it.
Oh man. So when you asked me earlier my favorite pay-per-views, I'll rebuttal that. What are some of your favorite pay-per-views?
From all three companies.
Yeah, sure.
So for Dota E, I don't know. Now I remember I told you last time that WrestleMania 15 is my favorite WrestleMania. It still kind of is, but I'm sort of leaning towards WrestleMania 2000 now because I liked that one a little bit better after watching it.
Yeah, I hate WrestleMania 15.
I mean,
what about it do you like?
Which one, 15?
Yeah, 15.
I'm going to be 100% completely honest with you. The only match I remember full on right now that I can tell you about right now is Mankind and Big Show and Undertaker and Boss Man in the Cell. I forget all the other matches.
I mean, that had a good Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental title match. I mean, the main event, obviously, is Stone Cold and The Rock, which was probably their second best match together. Yeah. I always hated the Hell in a Cell match. It's so bad. And I don't know. I actually know somebody that went to that pay-per-view.
What, the 15?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Did he like it? Or did she like it? Or
no, he didn't like it. I mean, I don't know. WrestleMania 2000, there's a YouTuber friend of mine, Relaxing Ghost. I don't know if you know him or not. But
I've seen him
I've
before.
done some videos with him before. He really likes WrestleMania 2000 as well. And it's really it's an interesting pay-per-view because there's some people that love it and then there's the other half that just despise it. And to me it was always a missed opportunity. You know, I like some aspects of it. Like I love the triangle ladder match and the hardcore battle royal, but the main event was just so lackluster. It could have been so much more.
You know, when you really think about it, can you imagine that at that time, like before that pay-per-view happened, can you imagine at that time people thought that pay-per-view wasn't going to happen because they thought they'd all be dead by that point?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah. And I wasn't a fan of, because obviously Mick Foley was taken out of retirement like 2 months after his Hell in a Cell match with Triple H. It was supposed to be Chris Jericho in the main event instead of Mick Foley, and I despise that. Like Chris Jericho had a great match on that pay-per-view with Benoit and Kurt Angle. Really good match. But I just wish he would have been in the main event instead of Mick Foley. And I don't have anything against Mick Foley, but I just think Chris Jericho being added to that would have made it that much better.
Yeah, but outside of WrestleMania, I really like Cyber Sunday, which is obviously influenced off my podcast name. I really like Cyber Sunday. And I still think that they should still do it to this day because it can actually be pulled off compared to 2009 when the technology wasn't as strong as it is now.
See, my problem with Cyber Sunday is just none of them were actually that great. Like, it's fine if you want to have fan interaction and all that. But, I mean, were any of them really that great? I mean, 2007 was okay. 2008 had its bright spots. 2006 had like one good match, which was DX versus Rated RKO. Taboo Tuesday was always a guilty pleasure of mine, which was obviously the name before Cyber Sunday.
Yeah, but wait, before you go on that tangent, wasn't the last Cyber Sunday in 2009?
No, 2008 was the last one.
Oh, I thought it was 2009.
Nope.
That's the one I remember. I didn't see the other ones. I got to though, but 2008 is my favorite one because that's the only one I've seen, and I know that sounds cheesy, but Taboo Tuesday was a terrible idea because who does pay-per-view on Tuesday?
Well, it's like Tuesday in Texas, like that pay-per-view. I mean, like, well, it's like WrestleMania 2 was on a Monday. Like why? Like, it's just weekday pay-per-views just don't work, and in a lot of ways, people still complain about Sunday pay-per-views.
Yeah,
like the last job I had, it was a pain in the ass having to watch pay-per-views because I started at 4 a.m. the next Monday. And for my channel, I'm like, well, I want to review it right when the pay-per-view ends. So I would literally like stay up all that night just to watch it.
You went like DVR it or put it on VCR or whatever?
No, I'm very OCD. I have to upload the review right after the pay-per-view. I have to.
So it's fresh in your mind?
Yeah, like I have that old school YouTube mentality of, because back when the YWC, the YouTube wrestling community, was bigger, in a lot of ways it was a competition. Like who could upload the review first, or stuff like that. So I kind of have that mentality still. Like I want to upload because you're going to get the best views and the most interaction right after the pay-per-view. So if you upload the review a day later, or even like 2 days later, or anything like that.
That's true.
So I like to have it up immediately after. There's been times where I was filming the review during the pay-per-view by segments, so I could literally have it uploaded minutes after it was done.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, Elimination Chamber, this past pay-per-view, I think I uploaded that like a day later because I just didn't care. Like, that's just kind of what the current product's done to me. It makes you just not care.
Funny enough, speaking of cages and chambers, I actually watched every single Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Legit. I watched every single one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I did that for WrestleMania last year. I rewatched every WrestleMania, and that was a pain. Because I reviewed every WrestleMania. I did it for SummerSlam and Survivor Series, too.
Now, do you know how you're uploading, like, videos of what was it? I think you're uploading videos of, like, reviews of every single SummerSlam and WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, I believe.
Yeah, Royal Rumble, that one didn't really work out because I was moving at the time.
Yeah.
So I honestly didn't have time to, because I'm not the kind of person that's going to review it by memory. I'm going to go back and research it and stuff like that and actually watch it.
Because I don't think you got to all the WrestleManias. I think you did most of them, but I don't think you got to all of them when you were reviewing them all.
Yeah, it was WrestleManias 1 and 2. Those were the only ones. I watched them. I just ended up not uploading the videos in time. So I'll probably just do that here soon to complete that. SummerSlam I finished. I think Survivor Series I finished. So yeah, Rumble didn't work out.
Why are you bashing WrestleMania 9 so much? I mean, that was the year I was born, so I mean, it has to be special, right? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I was born with WrestleMania 12, and it's not much better. So
WrestleMania 12, that was
that's Brett and Shawn Iron Man match.
Yeah, I mean that WrestleMania was considered better than WrestleMania 9 in the people's eyes, but
Oh yeah, it's significantly better. But um, other than the parking lot or the Goldust and Roddy Piper, and then the Iron Man match, people don't really remember much after that. And so, I mean, WrestleMania 12 is average to me. I love the main event.
I
It's
know
just the rest is just kind of feels like filler at times.
I got to start watching more the only WrestleManias I've seen from front to back is like I think WrestleMania 1. I started WrestleMania 20 but never finished it. I never seen WrestleMania 2. I think I watched all of it, WrestleMania 3, I believe. I obviously watched WrestleMania 15 like many times over on many different like platforms, like the network and before the network on my Xbox. I I watched all that. There's still a few WrestleMania. There's still a lot of them I haven't seen yet, but I gotta get around to that sometime.
Have you seen 19?
No.
Okay. Well, you need to get on that. That's my all-time favorite WrestleMania right there.
I
so.
see. I played on the arena and all that stuff in the game. Never seen the actual event though. I got
Yeah,
to.
you need to watch WrestleMania 19. That's my favorite.
I mean, like I could watch it and tell you what I thought about it.
Yeah, you need to do that immediately. Same with like 17. I mean,
I've seen
20 is obviously great.
Wait, I think I watched. Speaking of 17, I think I watched 17. Yeah, I think I 1 year I watched 17 all the way through. I believe because I wanted to watch it because that was the one right after WCW got purchased, and I wanted to see if they were going to do anything with WCW at that point.
Yeah, the invasion angle is mostly a failure, but yeah, that's a whole different topic.
I mean, like it would have been really cool if Shane McMahon actually brought back Nitro, like under his wing, and actually lived up to his words and not doing kayfabe and was like WCW is going to beat you again like it did in the past. I wish that was actually true.
I mean, the plan was originally going to be Nitro. It was going to come back. It was going to replace SmackDown. They were going to basically cancel SmackDown and then basically redub it as Nitro, but they ended up not doing that.
Wait,
which I think is for the best.
I thought that was the idea for Raw. I thought they were going to get rid of Raw and replace it with Nitro.
No, you can't get rid of Raw. That's their flagship show. That's what beat Nitro.
I know, but I thought no, for somewhere that's what I heard, but I guess but I haven't seen it in a while, so you may be right.
I mean, it's like SmackDown was at one point going to be an all-women's show. That was the original idea for SmackDown. And then they obviously changed that, too.
But yeah, I mean, I forget, there's other WWE pay-per-views I like, too, but I forget right now. But for WCW, I can tell you a lot, because I love WCW. So, Great American Bash, obviously, is my top one. World War III is my second favorite.
Yeah, I always thought that was a very underrated idea. Where you had the 3 rings, the 60 people. I always loved that match concept. And I always wanted to see it come back in some iteration. But I always loved World War III. That was such an epic idea.
I feel that should be the Royal Rumble of SummerSlam. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because you have 3 rings, so I could see why they wouldn't want to do it. But I mean, they've done War Games, so.
Yeah, but I feel that there's the Royal Rumble for WrestleMania, but for SummerSlam they should do World War III because it just makes sense.
Yeah, even if you did it for like the mid card title, even if you didn't want to do it for the main event, the world title, You could even could be a good way to elevate the mid card titles. Have World War III be for that.
That's true.
You know.
I would watch it. They would have my they wouldn't have my money because they'd be on the network. So, but
they got you. They got your money. Don't worry. Vince always has your money.
$9.99 of it each month.
Yeah.
Which by the way, before I continue on with my favorite pay-per-view rant, the sidetrack a little bit. Did you actually give in and actually get the network again?
I had to do it for the Rumble, and I wanted to watch the Ruthless Aggression era documentaries.
And what do you think of the new layout? Because obviously it changed since the last time you had it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I only used it for the Ruthless Aggression era episodes, and then for the Rumble, obviously. I'll probably not use it again, though. I mean, the layout's it's better. The search bar actually works, unless you type in Chris Benoit. But
why they don't? Why if you try doing Chris Benoit, nothing's going to pop up?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but
do you want me to do it right now and I'll prove it?
Yeah, go for it. I know, I've seen many, because I was going back and watching some old WCW stuff too.
Yeah.
And you can always tell when Chris Benoit's in the match, because it'll be like, oh, Bret Hart defends the World Heavyweight title. It's not Bret Hart versus Chris Benoit, which I watched Bret Hart and Benoit, and that was a great match. Oh my God. Those are two of my all-time favorites right there.
Wait, it's Benoit spelled like Ben and then O-I-T, right?
Yep.
All right. No, I typed it in just for you to see if you actually show up. Let's see. Jump the match. Chris Jericho. Why is there all this Chris Jericho?
Because it's probably a match that Chris Jericho and Benoit had. They just don't want to name Benoit.
No, Jericho competes in a submission match. Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm telling you about. It always just says, oh, this person's doing this, instead of the actual versus Benoit.
No, Chris Jericho and China versus the Radicals.
Well, Benoit was part of the Radicals, so that's close.
They're probably covering up his name by not listing him in the thingamabobber.
Yeah, they won't list him, but he'll obviously still be in the content.
Yeah, see, if they would take him out, if they were to edit out Buff Bagwell because I know the company hated him and Benoit and all that, the network would have no numbers whatsoever today.
Did you know Buff Bagwell's an escort now?
I almost had Buff Bagwell on this podcast.
He's an escort. You can, for $20,000, he can come spend the weekend with you.
Oh God!
Just be like, well, I mean, if you have an extra $20,000 laying around, you might as well fly him in and sleep on your couch.
Gee, thanks, Bagwell.
Yeah, because me and a friend were joking about Buff Bagwell. We're like, well, what's he up to? We looked it up, and my God.
Do you know I had Sabu on this podcast?
I saw you had Sabu. I saw Psycho Sid, which he's actually one of my least favorite wrestlers of all time. So that's an interesting one. I was looking in earlier through just kind of your other episodes, and I saw Psycho Sid.
Yeah, I got Sid on here. No, hey, did you actually listen to the episode with Sid though?
I listened to a little bit. How was he?
He's I know everyone hates him, but he's actually a really nice, down to earth guy. He lives out literally in the middle of butt nowhere, and he literally is more country than cornbread.
Do you have to pay? Did you have to pay him to have him on?
You know what? No, it's actually funny how I had him on. I actually got on Facebook, there's this guy called Steve Joyner who knew the guy who does the podcast with Sid because Sid has a podcast, and Steve Joyner knew the guy who did the podcast with him, and so Steve contacted the guy who does the podcast with Sid, and I talked to Sid on the phone, and so for free I got to have Sid on my podcast through his podcast.
Oh, okay, there you go. I didn't even know yet, dude. Every wrestler has a podcast nowadays, but yeah.
I had Pillman Jr. on here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Some other guys like Steve Michaels that you never probably heard of. He's an independence guy. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if you heard the Sabu episode, but the Sabu episode was pretty good.
I'm trying to get David Benoit for an interview.
Yeah, I can try. Do you know what? What if I try to get him on my podcast and I invite you on so you can ask him questions?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because I've never done like an interview on my channel, but that's probably the only one that I would actually want to do, because obviously I'm not an interview channel. But yeah, I would love to have him on. You know, I've participated in a few of his like Instagram live video sessions, if you want to call them that. But yeah, he did like Q&As and stuff, and you know, I always thought he was very interesting. You know, the whole Benoit thing has always interested me. You name it, I've seen it. You know, I don't know if have you seen Dark Side of the Ring?
That's a movie, right?
No, it's a TV series on Vice.
I never.
I highly recommend that series. They're doing for the season 2 premiere. It's going to be the Benoit tragedy.
I should probably check that. I mean, like, yeah, I'll probably check it out just to see that, because because there's always spectacles. Like, there's no one-way story, you know.
No, because the first season was really good. They did a really good episode on Macho Man and Elizabeth. That was phenomenal. So, yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. Dark Side of the Ring.
Do you whatchamacallit, is, man, I'm trying to think. I just want to let you know you're like, dude, you're forever like part of the Cider Timebite family, man, because like you're really cool, and if you ever want to come on here for anything, and like if I'm doing an interview that you want to be part of, to ask questions, dude, by all means, you're invited.
Yeah, we can have a 3-way with David Benoit.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to get him on. I don't know. He's probably going to be hard to get because, you know, he's David freaking Benoit, but I can try.
Yeah, he's been getting more in the limelight. I know the Wrestling Gurus. That's an old YouTube channel. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I know they had him on. That was years ago. He's getting more, I guess you want to call, attention. Yeah, he's getting more attention. So I think it's going to be harder to get him on. But I would love to, you know. I've always wanted to just talk to him because it's such an interesting dynamic. A lot of people don't even know that Chris Benoit had another son. You know, he has another daughter too. Well, he has a daughter that a lot of people don't know about. So, and from what I know, his daughter completely secludes herself from it. She wants nothing to do with any of it, which, I mean, you can't blame her.
Yeah. Here's the question though. I mean, no, I want to tell you. I'm going to tell you more about my ECW and WCW pay-per-views, but like, how would you feel if like one day they make a documentary on like me, about like my life, about like from the beginning of my life through like my Adventure Time Guys podcast to this podcast and all that stuff? Would you actually pick it up and add it into your collection?
I mean, yeah. I mean, anyone I know that had a documentary, obviously I'd be interested in it.
Man, because my story would be, I mean, I don't have like a crazy story that's like, oh my god, like how did he survive that? But
I do.
you do?
I do, but I don't share any of that publicly, obviously. But I mean, if a lot of people were to hear my actual story, it's pretty interesting. It's just I keep it private, very private. I have to.
Do,
So
do you do that because like when you do get your own DVD, that's where it's gonna go?
I don't even think it would go on there. I don't know. I'm very private, so I mean, I don't know. I'm just so used to keeping everything from everyone,
Yeah.
so I don't share much. I'm just, my current channel, that's completely. It's not a character. Like, the DVD Freak isn't a character, but it's kind of just one side of my personality. And then the other side, I just keep out of it.
Like, do you yeah, your channel is so secretive. One video would be in front of your DVD collection, and then another video would be like in some other random room that we try to wonder where is that? Where is he?
Yeah. I'm just. I mean. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that just no one will ever know. That's just because I'm so used to just making the video and not really having, any of my life involved in it. I remember I did a day in the life video one time, and that was interesting. But I mean, I've had other YouTube channels that people don't know about. I'm developing one now that I'm probably not going to share. I like to keep various things separate.
Yeah.
I mean, the next channel I'm making, hopefully, it's going to be about the paranormal, which is something that a lot of people wouldn't expect from me. But, I keep the wrestling side, I keep the filmmaking side of me elsewhere and other interests. And YouTube channels generally work out better if it's about one thing. That's another thing. So,
I mean, like, if I came to ask, do you do you just film videos even at like work, like in your break room or whatever, when the information pops up and you have the time, you just film them there?
yeah, that's what I've had to do lately because, I'll just pick a place and somewhere that's quiet so I can get the news out there because I want to obviously report it as soon as it comes out. And for some stupid reason, it seems to come out while I'm at work. So, yeah, there's been times where I literally had to do it at work.
Is that what all those funky backgrounds are that aren't be in front of your DVD collection?
Oh, yeah, they're horrible. I hate it. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
And where do you prop your phone on? Do you hold your phone while doing it, or do you prop your phone on something?
I prop it on a little piece of wood. My videos they get pretty ghetto sometimes. So you got to get creative sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to ask. Do you know how? Did I ever tell you about my other, like, my persona, like, that's not me? That's my cosplay self, quote unquote.
I don't think so. No.
So I have like do you know how you have you and then there's like the DVD Freak?
Yeah, I mean the DVD Freak's kind of me, but it's more just like I said, it's just more the wrestling personality. Because I'm very much like an intellectual. Like I love a variety of things, and that doesn't really come out much on my channel because it's literally just wrestling.
But yeah, I mean, like I have like another version of me, and I named him Crash Stevens because that was supposed to be my wrestling gimmick if I were to get into wrestling.
Yeah.
And what's all the background noise?
Oh, that's just somebody's car starting. I'm trying to get away from that. My bad.
No, it's all right. But no, I mean, I wanted to make like a character for myself for like conventions. Um, that was like more like I can be more myself, but cranked up to 100. And so
Yeah.
and so that's where I made that character, and he's basically like Dean Ambrose and McFoley had a baby.
Yeah. That's. I mean, for my channel personality, it's kind of just honestly, believe it or not, it's very much kind of a calmed down version of myself because I'm a very charismatic person at times, and that just doesn't come out with wrestling because I just get more pissed off when in terms of wrestling at this point. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe kind of what I put into that, but
Because I was gonna ask, what do you want to make a character like a character like I'm doing, but such for yourself?
well, I've written there because like I said before, I'm an aspiring filmmaker, so there's been very few times I've based a character off myself. Obviously everything I write is going to have something to do with my life.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I've written, which is kind of my baby in terms of like films I've written. That's basically an exaggerated version of myself in my childhood. So it's sort of a character.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, would you make like a character, but except you wouldn't be called Crash Stevens, obviously, because that's me. But I'm saying would you make like a character like for yourself, but except call him like whatever you want to call him, and make like a logo for him and all that.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'll tell you what. You remember? I don't know how long you've been following my channel, but it used to be called Matthew Tremble.
Yeah, but I used to. No, I didn't. I have been following your channel like I think for like 2. I think I started following you last year. I think.
Yeah, my channel started out as Matthew Tremble, which is actually that film character. So that was the alias I kind of took, and I've used that name many times for different things. And then I wanted to make the channel more of a brand, so I changed it to the DVD Freak.
Why don't you call it? Then why don't you make a character called because Matthew Tremble may be copyrighted or whatever, but why don't you like make a character called change the Matthew name, but keep Tremble, but here's a good one. You like Chris Benoit, so how about you call it Chris Tremble?
Like I said, I wanted to be more of a brand. I didn't want it to be a name. It's like I said, my channel is a brand in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
I'd rather have. It's kind of like old school YouTube too. Back when people had like usernames.
Yeah.
Instead of just their real name. So, because I followed YouTube since literally the day it was. Like back in early 2005 is when I was introduced to YouTube, and I was always fascinated by it. And I started YouTube in 2011 under a different channel, and I just like that old school YouTube mentality of having like a username.
Yeah, because can you imagine if you were to go along with that character, that a match between Crash Stevens and Chris Tremble in a like Extreme Rules, that would be like crazy.
Yeah.
I would whip out all the moves. I would I actually named my finisher. My finisher would actually be the Falcon Arrow, but it said it would be called the Stevens Point because there's a town in Wisconsin called Stevens Point, and it would be like. And that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What would be your finisher name if you had a finisher, and what would it be?
Oh, man, that's something I haven't really thought about because I'm a wrestling fan, but I never, even as a kid, I never wanted to be a wrestler. So it's like that's a difficult question. I think I would use the Swanton. I always loved the Swanton. Um, I wouldn't be more. I wouldn't use a submission hold. I'd rather be a heel, which heels do use submission holds. So maybe, yeah. I think I'd create. I would try to use a move that's never been seen before, which is difficult, but I don't know. I don't know what I'd call it. It depends what the move would be, because I would try to name it what the move. Because the name of it should describe what the move is in like a creative way. So it would really depend what the move is in terms of naming it.
I feel like you would do well. I always seen myself as a secondary finisher doing a raised DDT because I think that looks cool. But would you do you see yourself doing a raised DDT?
Well, I mean, Jake Roberts, the DDT is one of my favorite finishers, so it'd be kind of cool. I feel like the DDT's been overdone though, in a lot of ways. Like, I was really disappointed when Dean Ambrose did his version of the DDT. I'm like, really? Like, that's all you can come up with? I just feel like I would try to be more creative with it and do something that's literally never been done.
Well, there's something that you can use that only been done once to my knowledge, and that's you put someone on your shoulders, airplane spin them like a couple times, and then like immediately right after you spin them, you just whip them off your shoulders and you just fling them in the air, like you spin them in the air and they hit the ground.
And then you just leave without any explanation.
I think that's the coolest move ever because Brock Lesnar did that. He spin where he spun them around like a couple times and then immediately just flinged them, like spinning in the air and they hit the ground. I thought that was like the most coolest thing ever.
See, I never liked the airplane spin or anything like that because it really exposes the sport for being fake. And yeah, we all know wrestling's fake. And that's just kind of the old school mentality. You know, you'll hear Jim Cornette or someone bitch about it constantly, about exposing the sport. It's just cheesy stuff like that I never liked. I like a more serious wrestling. Like, I love AEW and what they're doing, but I don't like comedy spots. I take wrestling very seriously.
Yeah.
And I do believe in kayfabe still. You know, I believe you should still stay in character, and part of that, let's say you're an actor. You know, I love method acting. You know, staying in character 24/7 and really immersing yourself in it. And I just don't like when wrestling's taken as a joke. And I feel like the airplane spin was always just too, like, why would you ever do that in a real fight? Wrestling is supposed to sell a real fight. Why would you airplane spin somebody? Or why would you... It's like Joey Ryan. He has his little dick move. Like, stuff like that. I've always hated comedy spots.
So, like, who, besides Chris Benoit and besides Jake Roberts, who do you think is the greatest of all time?
In the ring, I would say Benoit. Just in the ring, though.
Yeah.
But wrestling-wise, you know, you have to have the full package. You have to be able to talk. Which Benoit, he could cut a promo, but he wasn't the greatest talker. So, like, package, I would say Ric Flair. I mean, a lot of people might disagree with that, but I know a lot of people would agree. I think Ric Flair is just the greatest of all time. When you think of wrestling, you know, that's just who I think of.
Can we talk about your favorite wrestler ever, though? Lex Luger.
Oh, yeah. He kissed my ass.
Oh, come on. I like Lex Luger.
I've never liked him. He was never the next Hulk Hogan. The whole Miss Elizabeth thing, I don't like that. You know, that's a whole different topic. But, yeah, I was just never a Lex Luger fan, ever.
Wait.
I tried.
Did you actually legit like Buff Bagwell, though?
No. I like him better as an escort than I do a wrestler.
Oh God.
His escort page is very entertaining.
How about oh God. How about like Vampiro?
God, that's another one that's just, I don't know. He's an interesting guy. I've seen a lot of his like shoot interviews and stuff like that. I think he'd be an interesting guy to have on the podcast. But yeah, I mean, he could have been a lot more. I just feel like if he would have done something a little more different,
Yeah.
I feel like he was too much. And I'm not saying this is his fault, but he was too much like Sting in WCW. And obviously they had their little rivalry, which really didn't turn into much. So, I mean, that's just kind of what he's known for, unfortunately. When I feel like maybe if he would have went a different way, creatively, he could have stood out more.
But obviously there's the worst wrestlers of them all, the Insane Clown Posse. They wanted to remember when they were trying to make a name for themselves in wrestling with their music?
Yeah. Do you remember in WCW we had I think he was named the Demon. He was literally Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yeah, I remember that. He was versing Sting in a graveyard.
Yeah, and then Sting like crushed him in like 5 seconds, the one match they had.
He threw him in a lake.
Yeah, it's just, oh God. I hate later WCW.
Yeah, but why? No, he did stuff with Norman Smiley.
Yeah. I feel bad for Sting. He went through a lot in the later days.
But hey, he was their guy, and he did everything for the company, just like Tommy Dreamer did for the company he was in.
Well, here's the problem, dude. Like, Sting, he was great in early days WCW, and then he had to deal with, like, the bullshit. And then he was great in early TNA, and then look what happened then. He had to deal with a lot of their stuff, too. Like, I feel bad for him. Everywhere he goes, it's just like, he tries his best. And it's never, I don't think it's ever been his fault.
Well, I mean, even WWE, he tried his best in the WWE for the very limited time he was there. But
well, that was Vince's way of saying, "Oh, look, WWF beat WCW, haha." It's just, I don't think Sting should have ever went to WWE. That was a mistake.
But aren't you glad? But he was on your favorite WrestleMania on your second favorite WrestleMania of all time, and he had a match, and he had DX and the NWO versing off for the first time ever.
I wouldn't say 31's my second favorite.
Well, you said
I think it's one of the greatest, but I wouldn't say it's my second favorite.
Well, because the ones that you always bring up all the time is 19 and 30, 31, and those are the only two I see you brag about the most.
31, I think, is the best modern WrestleMania. I think it's better than 30. I know a lot of people would shoot me for saying that, but
at one time, before WrestleMania 31, before that one even happened, you said 30 was actually the best you ever seen, and then 31 came out, and you said it topped it.
Well, I did my WrestleMania ranking recently. I don't know if you saw that.
Saw them all, and I loved them.
Yeah, I think 1 was 17, 2 was 19, then 31, and then 30. I think my second favorite WrestleMania was WrestleMania 8. It's not that great of an event, but I always loved it.
I know you love WrestleMania 8, but you hate the main event. But
yeah, that's the problem. Ric Flair and Macho Man, that's the main event. And then you have stupid Psycho Sid. Well, Sid Justice at the time, which, oh God.
Oh, come on, listen to the podcast I do with him, and you may actually like him after that.
Just because I like him doesn't mean I like his booking. Oh man, but yeah, I think the main event's actually pretty funny because it was botched to hell. Like, Papa Shango came out at the wrong time. Like, it was supposed to be him causing the DQ. So then they're just like out there like running around like a bunch of idiots stalling, and then here he comes running down the aisle like an idiot. And then you have freaking blonde-haired, short-haired Warrior come out. I mean, I like Ultimate Warrior in some aspects, but that's just yeah. I love WrestleMania 8, but I just try to forget the main event.
I want to talk about the Royal Rumble in 1999 for a little bit though, because that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite Royal Rumble because there's so much going on in that match that you don't see stuff like that anymore in a Royal Rumble.
See, I felt like it was overbooked.
Overbooked. That was the Attitude Era for you, man. They were neck deep.
Yeah, which is look, I like the Attitude Era, but it's not my favorite era. I don't, like I said, I like more serious wrestling, whereas there was too many times where the Attitude Era was overbooked, and I understand why it was. You know, that's what wrestling was at the time. But you know, I'll take other eras. I'll take the '80s and the '70s and the '80s and the early 2000s over the Attitude Era.
But wait, here's the thing. Since you're into more serious wrestling, if you were going to take your mindset of you like serious wrestling, and it's the Monday Night Wars right now, and there's some Nitro and there's Raw, which one would you watch for serious wrestling?
ECW. I'll take ECW over those two any day.
Yeah, but
even though that's more hardcore wrestling, but there were times where it was, you know, I loved the product they put out. But out of the two, I still think I would have watched WWF. I do. I don't think. I mean, it's hard to say because, like, I was a kid. Because I didn't watch wrestling back then.
Because I was gonna say, I mean, I obviously because of the network, I watched Raw and Nitro back in those days. And Nitro was actually more of a wrestling show than Raw was then. I mean, Raw was, edgy attitude, doing everything they can to get on top. But Nitro actually was, pulling off a wrestling show with everyone that they had. And
well, here's the thing. I love the cruiserweight division of WCW. You had that's the greatest cruiserweight division you could ever have right there. But I think WWF had more stars that I liked. Like, I hate Goldberg. He's my least favorite wrestler of all time. I don't care what anyone says. He has no talent. I don't care. He can work a crowd. That's about it. And he can do what they can tell him to do. Do a spear, do a jackhammer, snarl, growl a little bit, and you'll win. That doesn't take talent. He can cut a good promo. I'll give him that, though.
But how about him in the Georgia Dome? No, I'm kidding.
God. What I'm saying, though, is, WCW, I didn't like DDP. I didn't like Goldberg. I'm not the biggest NWO fan, per se.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have gravitated more towards WWF, because at least you had Edge and Christian. I love the tag team division there, the Hardys, the Dudleys. I loved all of that tag team division going on there. I mean, Stone Cold's always great, of course. I think WWF had better stars, but WCW might have had better wrestling at the time. So it's more just, I don't know. It's kind of even for me. It's hard to pick which one I would have watched.
I always told myself if I were to get into wrestling and I had two contracts in front of me, Vince and Eric Bischoff, I probably would have signed with WCW just to see how far I would go. Because I not only, I'm not saying that because I like WCW, but I would do it just to see how far I would actually go and see if they would push me and actually use me correctly. And then if they were just to 100% botch me and just screw me up, I would probably then jump to the WWF and then be on Raw.
That's what everyone did.
Well, there's some people who got totally screwed by Vince that they went to WCW. Then when WCW went under, they went back to the WWF or just went somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
Out of anything, it would have been ECW.
Yeah, I love it. I love ECW, man. I was at the mall recently, and I don't know how long it's been since you've been to a mall, but at Hot Topic right now, they have an ECW, a classic ECW logo shirt with the old school barbed wire logo on it, and I picked that up just recently because I had that one and the rebooted ECW logo with the from the crappy days on it. So I got both of those shirts now.
Yeah, I mean, I have them all. It's just a shell of its former being. I mean, like there's an FYE there. I used to love it there. I used to know everyone that worked there. They'd hold stuff for me. Like, I would go there every Tuesday for new releases. And no one works there anymore that I know. The wrestling section's like maybe like a 2-foot section. Whereas like 10 years ago when I was back in like the heyday of my collecting, it was a whole wall. So yeah, I mean, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, is your FYE big or is it tiny?
Well, the problem is all they do is sell clothes. Like, it's just clothes and toys and like stupid Jersey Shore chocolate bars. Like, I grew up when it was a music and DVD store, and then they turned it into some freaking glorified Hot Topic, and that's why I stopped going there.
Oh,
They don't. Like, it's a toy store.
oh, they remodeled your FYE.
Oh yeah, all of them are remodeled now. Like, I've been to FYEs where they only have like one little shelf of DVDs.
Well, that's not true because I actually have a mall by my house that's still filled with with DVDs and CDs. Like, it's mainly that still, like the DVDs.
Well, there you go. I have yet to see one like that within the past like 3 years.
Well, we have one. If you ever decide to come out this way, I'll take you there if it's still there, because that mall that's in is dying pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, all malls are dying. There was a mall that I grew up with, and it's not there anymore. That had a great FYE. They had a great collectibles store. They had everything.
The new mall I go to now, because Stratford, the name of the mall is Stratford, by the way, the one that's dying. But the one I go to now, Fox Valley, has an FYE in it, and there's still, it's not as extensive as the Stratford one, but there's still a lot.
Yeah.
They have a huge Funko Pop wall, obviously, because those are big.
I never got into the Funko Pops. I have two.
Of who?
I have an AJ Styles one that I got for my background, and then I have a 89 Michael Keaton Batman. That's it.
And do you like them? Obviously, you like them because you bought them.
Yeah, I get them for display pieces, but I think it was a cool idea. It's too overblown now, because now there's literally a Funko Pop for everything. It's not as collectible as it used to be. Like, it's not as special. Like, oh, this person has a Funko Pop, I have to get it. Because now everyone has one. Like,
not just everyone, but everything. Like, there's
yeah. So, I mean, they were cool. I tried to get my hands on a Kurt Cobain one, but that one's expensive. I was also going to get... I will get a Pinhead one. I don't know if you're a fan of the Hellraiser films.
I've never seen them.
Yeah, Pinhead. I want one of him, but that's about it. I mean, like I said, I got an AJ Styles one for the background, and then the Batman one I have.
But obviously, Funko Pops are not just those little things anymore. There's when I was at the mall like a week ago, like they freaking had a humongous Funko Pop of Pennywise from It, and it was huge, and it was a Funko Pop.
Yeah, I saw that one. It's like a foot tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of It, but that's huge.
I like the original It. I don't like the new ones, but I like the original TV miniseries It.
I'm surprised they didn't cast Chris Jericho in the movie, because he has It.
Oh God. Oh God.
Do you believe Chris Jericho invented that?
I'll tell you what, though, man. Seriously, though, there's a lot of people starting to say that Chris Jericho is the greatest of all time, and it's honestly hard to argue that. I don't know about you, but if you look at longevity, I mean, look at him. He's still going. After all this time, he's reinvented himself, so maybe he really does have it.
I don't have any of like his merchandise, but I like Chris Jericho, but I don't have any of his merchandise. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't really get merch. I get DVDs. That's it.
I know you said that last time.
Yeah, I collect autographs and DVDs. So,
but you said you would break that mold for the
that's
spork.
An autograph I want. I'd what?
You said you would break that mold for the spork.
Oh God, the spork.
Yeah, you said if I get you one of my spork shirts that you would break the mold.
I will wear it. I'll tell you what. Right now.
Okay, all right. Tell me right now.
If I get the spork shirt,
okay,
I will wear it for a very high viewed video of mine.
Very high video. High video.
Yeah. Like I'll tell you what. If there was like a WrestleMania review or something, like WrestleMania 36 review, because I have to sit through that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If I review it afterwards, I will wear the spork shirt. And I will not reference it at all whatsoever. I would just wear it. And I will make people wonder why the hell I'm wearing it.
Yes.
I've done that before where I just do things and people just question it and I never explain it.
That's what I feel every time your background changes in your videos. Like, why?
That honestly, I hate doing that because I'm very much into consistency, but because obviously I'm a wrestling channel, I don't want there to be a cardboard wall in the background. But lately, with all the news coming out, you have to make do. If you're gonna report on wrestling, you gotta do your best at it, and sometimes where you're at, you gotta do it.
No, wait, what's the flip side of that deal? Because you would do that, you would wear the sports shirt and in a WrestleMania review, but what's on the flip side for me? Like if you're obviously going to do it, but I'm saying if for some reason you don't do it, what's in it for me?
I'll tell you what. I'll do that. I have currently a tattoo of my channel logo.
Yeah.
You have to get a tattoo of my channel logo.
I will not. Okay, I will not do tattoos. That's my.
Yes, you will.
I'm not gonna. No, I'll do a review. If you want me to do a review and post it on your channel, I'll do that.
All right. What if we somehow make a temporary tattoo?
Temporary? Yeah, temporary. Yeah, but I'm not gonna get a real one.
But it has to go on your forehead.
On my forehead?
It's either you get the real one in a realistic spot, or you get the temporary one on your forehead. So you got pick your poison here.
I'll get the temporary one on my forehead.
There you go.
and on top of that, I gotta review like WrestleMania 19 and post it on your channel.
Or I could make you review WrestleMania 32 or something. One of the worst pieces of garbage out there. And then you have to pretend to like it too. You're just like, I don't know what everyone else is talking about. This is the greatest event I've ever seen.
No. I want you to do that for. No, I would love to see you do that for. What's your? There's a show you really, really hated.
There's a lot of those lately.
I'm trying to think. What's the one you trashed on the most?
I once went. I'm surprised this video is still on YouTube and it's still monetized.
Yeah.
When Crown Jewel 2018 happened, I went on such a rant it was bad. Like, I'm surprised that thing's still up.
No, I want to see you. No, I want to see you make a video, like you talking about just the Saudi Arabia shows in general, and you pretend you like them.
Sometimes I'll start it out by sarcastically liking a show.
Yeah,
but it's clearly sarcasm.
Yeah, you could be like,
it's hard to get angry about wrestling anymore because I'm so used to it. It's hard for me to just go on there and rant at this point.
Yeah,
but because I'm just so used to it, like it's to the point now when there's a good one, I'm shocked. Like with the Royal Rumble this year, if you will go back and watch that review, I was in legitimate shock that it was actually good.
It was a good show.
Yeah, like I was completely shocked. Like I had my friend over and he watched it, and like we were just sitting there in disbelief that it was actually a really good pay-per-view.
Well, do you think that it only got better from there?
No. I even said in the video, and this actually came true now that I think about it. I said in the video, I'm like, this pay-per-view made me scared because this is clearly as good as it's going to get. And every time we have a good Rumble, the rest of the WrestleMania season is garbage. Every time we have a really bad Rumble, that means WrestleMania is going to be good. It's an omen.
Well, here's the thing. The only reason WrestleMania season's bad is because of what's going on in the world. If this wasn't happening, I think it would be
it'd still be bad. I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to say, but when's the last time WrestleMania season was actually really, really good? Because even with WrestleMania 31, the build-up was pretty bad, but the pay-per-view was awesome. I think WrestleMania 30, that was the last really good season in general, because you had the whole Daniel Bryan storyline building up. That was a really good WrestleMania season.
What would you how would you felt if they still did WrestleMania at the stadium but with no one in it? Just to have the stadium atmosphere.
That's better than the Performance Center. Because at least you'd have the stage, you'd have pyro, you'd have unless they decided to do like last year, a giant screen. My God. But I mean, I'm assuming they would have had this whole elaborate pirate ship stage planned or something.
Yeah,
shoot wrestlers out of a cannon. Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know why they just ended up doing the WrestleMania in the empty stadium. That would have been better than doing it at the PC. But
because you save more money doing it that way. Because if you think about it, you have to spend money on the stage construction. It would have been a pretty big stage. It would have probably been almost as big as WrestleMania 33 stage, and then you're spending money on pyro. And it's also, I guess, if you fly everyone out there, it's going to be more of a risk, even though it's still in Florida, but because it takes more people to man a stadium show. So that's obviously putting more people at risk because they're there, because it's more difficult to obviously have that huge atmosphere. You have probably 10 times the people working there than you would just the random Performance Center.
So like, do you think in the WWE 2K21 video game, the WrestleMania in that game, they're just gonna pretend this all didn't happen, and they're just gonna actually put the legit stage they're actually gonna run with and have it in a stadium and all that just to cover it up?
Knowing Vince McMahon, they'll cover it up.
Yeah, because
in 10 years he'll be like, "Oh, this was the stage. I don't know what your guys are talking about. This was clearly in the stadium."
Yeah, because in the video game every year they always put every WrestleMania, because obviously the video game. But I wonder if they'll actually put this empty Performance Center. I wonder if they'll actually put whatever they're going to do on Sunday in the video game.
I don't know. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing if you have that as your WrestleMania stage or stadium. But I mean, I haven't played a wrestling game since like 2006 or somewhere around there.
Well,
So,
you said your last game was 2K15, which is a terrible one to end at because it only got.
well, that was my friends though. I didn't actually buy it.
Yeah, but you should have played 2K19. 2K20 is getting a lot of crap right now, but 2K19 was actually really good.
I'm good.
I don't know.
I don't play video games regardless. I only play them if like I'm at my friends or something, which doesn't happen very often anyway. So I'm not a video game person. I'll play like Nintendo and like really old video games, but that's about it. Like the last system I really had, I still have a PS2. I don't really play it all that much.
Is it? Do you play it? Are you so low on playing it that you have it sitting in a box in your house somewhere, or you actually have it hooked up just in case you never know?
It's hooked up, but that's because I've had that thing for almost 20 years now, so it's more sentimental than anything else. Like I feel bad if I don't hook it up.
Yeah.
Like I'd feel bad if I just saw it sitting in a box somewhere. I'm like, no, you deserve better. I'm gonna hook you up.
Dude,
so.
Do you have video games based on movies since you're such a movie buff?
No, I never liked video games based on movies. They're never that great. I mean, there's some that are obviously good, but yeah, I was more into... I mean, I had some Star Wars games on PS2. I love Super Mario, like the originals. Those are some of my favorite games. Mortal Kombat, that's probably my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, we were talking about that last time.
Yeah. Quake 3, that's another great one. That was on the computer, which I don't have anymore. But, yeah, I like more... I don't know. People would just find it boring. I like playing chess. I like even just like online chess and stuff like that. And I love trivia games. I like more thinking games nowadays.
Are you the guy who... Okay, this has got to be you. Are you the guy who's sitting in the park with your chessboard on the table and you make your move, hit the clock, get up, get in the other seat, make the move, hit the clock, get back up, go back in the other seat?
See, I would do that to mess with people because they're like, dude, that guy is schizophrenic. Like, what is wrong with him? I'm just running back and forth. Like,
is that you, though? Is that you?
Maybe one day.
So what in your area? Well, obviously I live in Chicago, so we have different stores than what you have. But what stores in your area do you like that we don't have?
I don't go to stores very often. Because I'm very much the type of person, I don't shop. Like, if I'm going somewhere, I know exactly what I'm getting, and then I leave. Because I have really bad social anxiety. I don't want any more interaction with anyone than I have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only stores I really go to... Do you have an Aldi?
Yeah, we have Aldi.
Yeah, we go there. I'll go to Walmart for the new DVD releases that are only like once a month now. So I don't go there very often anymore. I went to Best Buy for the first time in like 3 months the other day.
Don't you guys have like Ames and stuff like Ames and stuff like that?
No, we don't have that. We don't have a Kroger. We don't have like our grocery stores around here. We have like we have a place called Wise. I don't know if you have that.
No, we don't have that.
Okay, that's a Pennsylvania thing. That's really it. I mean, I go to gas stations. I love Royal Farms. I don't know if you have one of those.
What's that?
Do you have Royal Farms?
Never heard of it.
Okay, that's a gas station. They have really good food.
Did they have? Is it really big and it has like a soda fountain and a slushy thing and a coffee thing and all that stuff in it?
Oh, they have everything. They have the works, man. Like that's like I have one right near me. I'm there every day. So
That reminds me of Bucky's, which is our version of that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not a big. I only go in the public when I have to.
Yeah,
I'm not really one that gets bored and goes shopping for no reason.
what we have in my area is that we have Jewel, which is where I work, and it's a grocery store in the Chicago area that you guys don't have, and Mariano's, which is the competitor to Jewel. Do you guys have Mariano's?
Nope.
Oh, dude. Mariano's basically is the higher priced Jewel, and they make full fledged pizzas that you can actually take home and eat.
Are they actually good though?
And yes, they're actually really good.
All right.
But what we make at Jewel is really good. I mean, like we have the deli is really good. Our baked stuff is really good. Our squeezed juice is really good. Our wraps everything that we make is pretty good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Do you have a Giant? It's a grocery store.
I heard of it through because believe it or not, I know a lot of Pennsylvania retail history because there's a lot of people I follow from Pennsylvania who cover abandoned places, and I know about Giant because of that.
Yeah, I'm really into like abandoned stuff too. That's something I've always really explored. But yeah, Giant, they have the best Chinese food. You wouldn't think it, but like, because it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I would get sushi there so many times that I would walk in, the Chinese lady would see me and just start like cutting shit up, like getting my sushi order ready.
Is it still like that?
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's been like that for like 4 years.
4 years of eating that sushi stuff.
Oh man, I love sushi. I walk in there, she's like, "You want one or two?" And I'm just like, "Two." starts chopping it up.
No, it sounds like.
And there's times where she's not in there, I'll just leave. I'm just like, nope.
No, that sounds like a scene from The Room, honestly.
Oh God, don't bring that up. Oh dear God, that movie's traumatizing.
No, we talked about that before. In
I know.
No. He's making a new movie called Big Shark.
I saw, and I'll probably torture myself through that one too.
But no, I mean, like, you said you're into abandoned stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you know who Wally from YouTube is.
I might have heard about him. Yeah. I don't really follow a specific one because a lot of them are just fake. So, like a lot of the paranormal abandoned places, a lot of them are just fake. So it's hard to find like a genuine explorer. I always like exploring with Alex. If you've ever heard of him,
I don't think I ever heard of him. I think I did, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I like him. There's a few others. I'll just kind of browse it. There's not really one specifically.
I mean, I know a lot. They're genuine explorers, not fake. They're like genuine explorers.
Yeah.
Like there's Wally. He's from the same state you're from and covers all the abandoned stuff around in your area. There's Bright Sun Films, who does an abandoned series where he talks about places and their history and why it's abandoned. There's whatchamacallit, the Woo. Have you ever heard of him?
Yep. Yeah. He was one of the first ones I watched. I actually have a friend that knows him.
And how's he? Do you actually get the mem through your friend or what?
No, I've never met him. Well, my friend lives in California. He's another YouTuber, but they hang out sometimes. Like they appeared on each other's channels.
Yeah,
I've never met him, unfortunately.
Do you want to?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, I can't. Well, I can't hook it up. I'm just saying, would you want to?
Oh, I thought that was some kind of like. You're just like, dude, he's my uncle. It's cool. Like, I thought that was some kind of invitation. I was like, yeah, man, like, let's do it.
Like, yeah, man, I totally got fake connections to end the with.
Yeah, let's bring him in with David Benoit. Let's do this.
I don't
some fatal 4-way.
Fatal 4-way. Oh, what a
Benoit, he's just like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, fatal 4-way. Oh, what a terrible pay-per-view where it may or may not have been good or something.
Oh, yeah, you gotta love Fatal 4-Way. I love the DVD cover that spoils all 3 matches.
Except having it... No, it had all 3 matches and a Nexus logo.
Yeah, Yeah, I like the Nexus until they buried them.
Dude, I used to have basically all their... I used to basically have all their shirts. Well, not all of them, but I recently bought their original shirt because they resold it in a WWE shop because of nostalgia reasons. So they re-released their first shirt that had the giant N on it, and I also have their second shirt that I like a little bit more, which it has the N logo but it's shattered and it has a bunch of newspaper articles and pictures of them on it, and it says on the back "We are one."
Yeah, I hate 2010 for WWE. But that was like the only bright spot for me. That and like WrestleMania 26. The Rumble was good too. But like early 2010 was okay. And then like the Nexus showed up in June. I remember I watched that episode live.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I watched Raw. But that was an awesome segment. That was awesome. And then, they were taking it to really good places and they buried them, unfortunately, and they just never recovered after SummerSlam.
I think what they were trying to do is that I think with the Nexus, what they were trying to do is that they were poking on John Cena because do you know how John Cena never was heel? Like, well, he was heel in the beginning, but then he turned face and never went back to being a heel. I think backstage, everyone was trying to poke John Cena to get him to turn heel again, and then when he joined Nexus, he would be a heel again. But John Cena wasn't budging and turning heel, so they were trying to work around him not being heel by doing what they did.
Well, they never wanted him heel because he was making too much money, merchandise sales. That's like right now if you turned. I mean, well, WWE doesn't really have a big star right now, so
Roman isn't it?
I wouldn't say he's the John Cena of this era, though. He's not. He's not that big megastar. That's like pushing Roman Reigns. He's really over with the crowd, making a bunch of money, and then turning him heel. Because then the crowd's not going to buy the shirts. You're not going to make as much merchandise money. It's like turning the New Day heel. That's kind of the big example right now because they're like top merch, right? They've always been top merch the past few years. So that's why they never want to split them up or turn them heel. They make too much merchandise money.
Here's no, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but if John Cena would have turned heel at that time when he was in Nexus would have got so much merchandise sales and money and all that stuff. Like they basically would have overshadowed John Cena's fame almost because they would have been so popular because the most popular guy is in the group.
I always thought John Cena should have turned heel at one point. I've always thought that. I don't necessarily know when. I mean, if you want to make the biggest impact, I would say after... Man, I don't know. Because if you want to, you'd probably want to do it in the Super Cena years, so you get the biggest impact. So, like, I wouldn't have had him turn heel with Nexus, because you want him to have the blunt of the heat. So I would think maybe, like, if you really wanted to, like 2012, with him and The Rock,
mm-hmm.
That would have been a great time to turn him heel.
Speaking of which, I forgot to add. I also had the Nexus armband as well.
Yeah, that was a great stable, and it's just, of course, turn to garbage.
But what you thought of obviously you're a CM Punk fan. Obviously, your favorite logo is the one where with the fist and the lightning bolt. What you thought when they basically took his own shirt and just turned it yellow and put the Nexus logo on the sleeve? What you thought about that?
I hated the new Nexus.
But what you thought about that shirt? Because basically it was a CM Punk shirt with the Nexus logo on it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Straight Edge Society. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just should have never destroyed Straight Edge Society. Keep that going, because that was in early 2010. Keep that going. Integrate, if you really needed to, which they shouldn't have done this. If you really wanted to break up the Nexus so bad and have the new Nexus, just have that be another version of the Straight Edge Society. And I mean, that logo, I mean, it's my favorite CM Punk logo. I never really liked the yellow version, but that's why I turned it green. But I mean, I don't know. I was never a big fan of that whole new Nexus, and thankfully that died off after the pipe bomb.
Yeah, because that was my favorite shirt. I bought that shirt and I wore it all the time because I loved that shirt. That was my favorite shirt ever until I grew out of it.
Yeah, I like I said, I've never bought a wrestling shirt in my life, so
I know I should. I want to rebuy it in my size so I can wear it again.
Yeah.
But what? Whatchamacallit? What am I trying to say? We've been going for 2 hours, by the way, if you've been wondering.
Yeah, I gotta head out soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold it up.
No, that's cool. We can go for a little bit.
But I think 2 hours is long enough. I can't really, unless you want to ask me something, I can't really think of anything else.
All right, we can just ask each other one more question then. Something you want to know. So,
all right.
I think for you, what are your thoughts on AEW?
AEW. I watched the first couple weeks, and because of work and life, I haven't been able to watch the rest, like any of it recently. I didn't even watch NXT recently. I'm so far behind on AEW and NXT in general. I just don't know what's even going on. Besides what I see on social media, I don't know what's really going on besides that. And I always catch Raw, and I always seem to forget SmackDown. Raw's the only one to catch up with because I know it's on Mondays, and I've been watching Raw for all these years. That usually on Raw they catch me up on SmackDown and what's happened and everything else. So, and social media does a lot for it too. So
you watch Raw every week?
Yeah, I watch Raw I try to watch it Raw every week unless I'm working.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, I mean, it's not like I don't want to watch AEW or NXT or SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's just that work.
Yeah, no, dude, I would watch AEW every week, but I literally work every single Wednesday, and I can't get out of that. So, because I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in literally years. Front to back, I haven't watched it in years. So I've kind of become an expert on literally just catching myself up if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I've been doing with AEW. NXT, I don't care about. So I don't really even know what's going on down there right now. But AEW, I've tried to keep up with. I watch the pay-per-view because I only watch one WWE show a month, and that's the pay-per-view. I don't watch any other WWE shows. I can't sit through them. They're so bad. I can't do it. So the pay-per-views I watch so I can review them on my channel and, just kind of hope that they're good. And AEW, I watch the pay-per-views, and I've sadly only watched one AEW Dynamite, and that's the one I was at. So, and it's one of those things when I get off work Wednesday nights, I don't really feel like going back and watching it,
Mm-hmm. So I guess one last question for me. Let's see. What's your Since we were talking about abandoned stuff earlier, what's your favorite abandoned place that someone covered, like an abandoned Ames or abandoned this or that? What's your favorite one?
Um, I mean, I've been to a good number of them myself.
So you do it yourself?
Yeah, it's kind of always been like a side hobby. Well, I'm huge into like paranormal stuff. So, like, I go to Gettysburg all the time
But no way, I'm saying,
because I live right near
yeah,
like abandoned places. Have you ever heard this one? Doesn't I don't know if this one counts as much, but I did want to get your opinion on it.
yeah.
Do you know the mystery of the M Cave?
The M Cave is that a store?
The M Cave is basically there was this explorer on YouTube,
Yeah,
and his channel's still up, I believe, because I went back and researched him. He would film different like mines and caves and stuff like that. And he said like very far out. I think it was in Nevada. Don't quote me on that, but that I think that's where it's at. He found this cave. He wasn't able to film it, but he said it was this M-shaped cave. And he basically made a video saying, "All right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to film it this time." And he couldn't find it. He literally could not find the cave for the life of him. And he was like, all right, I'm going to go back for a third time and try to find it. And he never came back. And he's missing from it. He was never found.
Mm-hmm.
So I like more mysteries in terms of abandoned places, if there's some sort of a paranormal aspect or just some sort of an otherworldly degree to it. So I think the M Cave mystery was always my favorite abandoned topic, I guess. I love whenever they go on. I always loved when they go to abandoned house, like neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, like a family had to evacuate due to like, like a Chernobyl type disaster or like nuclear disaster.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting to see because a lot of the times they literally have to drop everything and get out. It's always interesting when they go into these houses and you see these people's lives and how they lived. Because they didn't have time to clean up. They didn't have time to pack their stuff. It is literally how they would have kept it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really eerie to see that. Like you see, like there was this one video where there were dirty dishes still. Like stuff like that is just fascinating.
Oh, like channels like Exploring with Josh, channels like that.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I mean, like I like looking at stuff like that. Yeah, like I looked at videos of like abandoned like police departments and houses and abandoned like places like that, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, all that stuff. But I also love looking at like abandoned Kmart's
Yep.
and stuff like that. I mean like I like just like looking at stuff like that is really cool and neat. And if they can get inside, that's even better.
Yeah, I don't have, unfortunately, too many abandoned places. I have more paranormal stuff around me. I had a Kmart, but they turned it into something else now, which I was actually going to try to go in there, but I ended up not.
You should turn your channel into that. This like going to like old Kmart's and stuff like that, and just doing your own interpretation on getting into these abandoned places and checking them out.
The problem is that so many people do it now that it's just like kind of saturated. Like I said, I'm working on something that involves paranormal to some degree. I've been working on that channel idea for a while.
Yeah, but you better not post. You better not make a video of people just like a head of like eyes, quote unquote, in the background, and go like, "Oh, it's a ghost."
Oh, trust me, no, I don't believe in spirit ghosts at all. I don't believe in any of that. It's more otherworldly stuff that I like, and I wouldn't I would never fake stuff. I despise that so much. And I'm very against ghost hunting, too, because it's all just scams. Like, they're all just scam artists. Like, I love going to haunted places, but I don't go with equipment. I don't go with a camera. I just go with myself. And I experience what's happening. You know? The best way to experience something is with your own senses. And I have so many cool stories from going to Gettysburg and other places that I can't explain. And none of it I have evidence for. I have a few pieces of audio evidence, but that's it. I don't have any video evidence. I don't have any of that because I just go to experience it myself.
Do you mean you're into stuff that's not of this world?
That and if you want to say like UFOs and aliens, sort of. Sometimes it depends. I think that's very much over exaggerated in a lot of ways. Like, I don't believe in abductions and crop circles. I mean, any of that shit. But like I said, it's more like residual activity, stuff that can actually be backed up by science, stuff that's not speculative. Stuff that you can actually know is there. So, yeah, I'm very into like physics, science, philosophy. I'm really into that stuff. And that does explore other dimensions. It explores other ideas, just all that stuff.
Well, then real quickly before we got caught quits on the podcast, what do you think of teleportation and time travel? In the short...
time travel is possible. It's not impossible. It's really quite simple. It's just more, it's just not recommended because just the effects that could come from it. Have you ever heard about the Philadelphia experiment?
The Philadelphia experiment?
Yeah, have you ever heard of that?
No, that's new. That's news to me.
Okay, there's a movie about it. I haven't seen the movie because I just feel like Hollywood would just bastardize it. But they took this submarine, and the idea was to teleport it from one side of the country to the other.
Yeah.
Not like completely one side, but pretty far. And they were able to do it. So they teleported it successfully, but they lost it. 3 days later, it shows up in a completely different state. Half the crew are either dead or they're missing. So that's fact. That has happened. That's the Philadelphia experiment. Look into it. It's very interesting. So, to me, that's proof of teleportation. And who knows, that could have other implications of time travel. You don't know. But, yeah.
Then how about teleportation?
What's that?
How about teleportation?
That's very much, it's possible. I don't think we've done it successfully, but who knows? Who knows? All this country does is lie to you anyway. So who knows what they've actually done? It's like time travel. Who knows? They could have been doing it for years.
Yeah,
who knows?
Like the way I see it is if we can't get our bodies to physically get warped there through by breaking up our bodies by atoms, I just see us just going for a giant tube like a vacuum and ending up on the other side. Like a giant vacuum system.
Yeah, I think if we successfully do it, we'll be in pieces. It's like going through a black hole. You would just spaghettify yourself.
That's one theory I heard. Is that basically we had to go through a black hole and hope to live.
Yeah, which it's not. Like I said, Philadelphia experiment, that's pretty much teleportation. Either everyone was dead or they were completely gone. And who knows where they could be. They could be in another dimension somewhere. And I'm a firm believer in the multiverse theory. So, there's an infinite amount of possibilities for everything. Who knows where they're at?
Well, I think we covered. I think this was just as long as our first episode, was it? Don't you think? I think it was.
Yeah, probably.
Man, it's always a blast to talk to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely do it again. Just let me know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's cool to just come on here and BS, you know?
I mean, like, you know, I trust you, man. If you want to call, if you just want to take time and just talk about wrestling or whatever, man, I'm open, and you can text me or talk to me whenever you want. I don't care.
Yeah, it's just hard to talk about wrestling nowadays, honestly. Like, being honest, I'm less passionate about wrestling than I ever have been. It's just tough, you know? It's not the product I grew up with, and it's that case for a lot of people. That's why a lot of people just stop watching. But I still try to cover it for YouTube and stuff like that, and, you know, it'll always be a hobby of mine. I just don't necessarily think wrestling's a passion anymore. But, you know, it is what it is.
Well, you want people. Let me do my outro. Thank you everyone for listening to episode 88 of Cyber Timebite. You know, Back to the Future edition, technically. Because if you listen to this episode fast enough, you're going to see some serious crap.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook at CyberTimeBite, on Twitter at NostalgiaVamp. Pick up my merchandise at Redbubble.com under Crash Steven Gear, where this guy over here will wear the t-shirt and review WrestleMania.
I will do it.
I'll link you to it too. And you, where can people find you again?
Yeah, the DVD Freak, YouTube. And I'm not too active on social media, so YouTube's really the best way to interact with me. I am on Instagram. That's the DVD_Freak, I think it is. You can always message me on there. You know, I'll usually answer. But, yeah, that's about it.
Unless he leaves you on scene. No, I can't. But no. When you do the review, you got to show people the shirt. You can't just have it like under your screen.
Oh no, it'll be in view. It'll be in view, and there will be no explanation.
Yeah, so I'll link you to that, and thank you everyone for tuning in to episode 88 of Cyber Timebite, and I hope all of you have a great day. Have a nice one.